Okay, today's video we're going to be making children's play fruit. So we have a standard apple. So we're going to need red, green and brown yarn, some stuffing, scissors, 2mm hook, stitch marker and the needle for sewing it all together. And as you can see, it sits quite nicely in your hand. We're going to start with row 1 and we're going to be making a magic circle. So we wrap it around 2 fingers. As you come back up the other side, we're going to make this cross. Just hold it with that finger. We're going to go under the first one and we're going to pull back this second one like so. And then we're going to grab the end of our yarn and pull it through. That is the start of your magic circle. So now we've got this circle. We don't want to interrupt these loops because we need to pull on this one at the end to close the circle. Now for this apple, we're going to need 6 single crochets. So we're going to go through the loop, pull up a yarn, and we are going to yarn over and pull through. That is your first single crochet. Do the same again. This is number 2. You want to keep it quite tight with your tension because we don't want to be seeing any holes through. This is number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. And it's at this point I always add my stitch marker, so I know that where my last stitch of the round is, because we're going to be working in the rounds on this. So we'll pop him in there. And now, as you can see, we've got this little bulgy bit here which looks a bit messy and I don't like it. So we don't pull the towel yet. This other section, this end, we're going to give it a slight tug. So if you watch it as we tug it, give it a pull down. Ready? So you don't want to put it too tight or you won't get your first stitch in, but as you can see, it pulls it neatly in place. Now to close the circle, we get the tail end and we pull on it like so. Don't worry if you don't get it tight the first time, we can come back to that and tighten it at any point as we go around. So there we have our magic circle with our 6 single crochets. For row 2, we're going to increase into every stitch. So we've got 6 on there at the moment, we're going to end up with 12. So we find our first stitch. So on here, as you can see, it's this one here. Now you need to go through both of the loops like so. Just go back and do that one again, make sure I've got all of the layers. There we have it. So this one is number 1. And we're going to go back through the same hole and put our second one in. So that is your first increase. And we're going to do this all the way around. So this is our second stitch. We want 2 in there. So we count that as number 3 and number 4. And number 5 and 6 in this third one. Seven and 8 in the fourth one. Nine and 10 in the fifth one. Which leaves us with our last stitch, our number 6 here, and we're going to put stitch number 11 and 12 in there. I'll take the stitch marker out, makes it a lot easier. So we have 11 and 12. Don't forget to pop your stitch marker straight back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this little hole even smaller. So I get the back of my hook and I wrap it round for the tension. And you gently tug. You don't want to tug too hard because you don't want it to snap, but you can just feel it pulling in your fingers and it's gone. And don't worry about that one, that's going to get left inside as we stuff the apple. Now for row 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch. So there's just 12. So every stitch has just got one. There's no increases in this round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, come out the way, 11, and the last one is under our stitch marker is number 12. There we have it. Row 4, we're going to be doing an increase on the second stitch. So we're going to do 1 single crochet first in our first stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to do an increase. So we want 2 in this one. So we're just adding on another 6 stitches on this round. So that's our increase. So the next one is going to be a single crochet into this one here. It's trying to roll back on itself. Let's push it through, and now we need our increase in this next one here. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and then another single crochet in the next one, and then our increase, and a single crochet and an increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, and our last stitch is our increase. Okay, and make sure you pop your stitch marker back in. Row 5, 2 single crochets and then an increase. So I'll start you off. We've got 1 and then a single crochet in the next stitch. That's 2 single crochets, and then in the third one we're going to be doing our increase. So we want to do 2 in this one here. That's 1 and that's 2. So if you want to carry on round, I'll meet you back at the stitch marker with 2 single crochets followed by an increase, and just keep repeating the pattern. And there we have it. Now we're going to be going to row 6. We're doing 3 single crochets this time and then an increase. So we have 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and the next one is our increase. So we're going to do 2 in this one. That's 1, and that's number 2. So again, follow the pattern round, 3 single crochets, then an increase, repeat it, and I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. Row 7 is just a single crochet round. So we're going to go all the way around doing 1 single crochet into every stitch, and you should have 30 stitches on your work at the moment. So I'll let you carry on 1 single crochet all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end of your stitch marker. Now into row 8 we are going to be doing 4 single crochets and then an increase. So for the first 4 stitches is a single crochet, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this next one here is our increase, so we're going to do 2 in that stitch. 1, 2. So if you'd like to carry on, 4 single crochets and then 1 increase, and you should have 36 stitches by the time you finish that round. Now for the next 4 rounds, so that's round 9, 10, 11 and 12, we're going to be doing 1 single crochet into every stitch. So we've got 36 stitches on each round. Remember to keep moving your stitch marker on your last stitch, and I will see you back at the beginning of row 13. Okay, so this is now going to be row 13. We are going to be going back down in size, so we're going to be doing decreases. So we start off with our 4 single crochets followed by a decrease. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to do a decrease where we need to pick up the front loop only of the next 2 stitches. So there's the first stitch, and in this next one we're going to hook it round and pick up that front stitch too, feed it in, there we have it. So we've got 2 stitches, front loop only, and we're going to pull the yarn through both of those like so. So we're left with 2 on our hook, pull the yarn through, and we're going to go through both. So that's your invisible decrease. So again, we need to do 4 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and another decrease, front loop only. That's the first one, and we're going to the next stitch, front loop only, like so. Pull the yarn through both of those, and then again yarn over excuse me, and pull through 2. So keep working your way around, 4 single crochets and then your decrease, and I'll meet you at the beginning of the next row. Row 14 is a single crochet only round, so we're going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch, and you should have 30 stitches on your work at the moment. So if you want to carry on and do all of those, I'll meet you back on the next round. Row 15, we are on a decrease round again. So we've got 3 single crochets this time. So there's our first one, second one, and our third one. And now we need to do another decrease. Again, the front loop of the next 2 stitches. Like so. Pull the yarn through and pull the yarn through. So just keep going round, 3 single crochets followed by a decrease, and I'll meet you at the beginning of the next one. Now row 16 is 1 single crochet into each stitch, so we should have 24 stitches on our work at the moment. So we're going to do 1 single crochet into every one of those, and I'm going to meet you back at the beginning of the next round. Now row 17, we're back to a decrease round, so we're going to do 2 single crochets and then our decrease. So we have 1, 2, and then a decrease, so the front loops of the next 2 stitches. So we have 1 and 2, pull it through both, and yarn over and pull through. So I'll let you carry on, 2 single crochets followed by a decrease. Now it's at this point we need to stuff our work. So when I put my stitch marker in and I'm doing stuffing, I pull the loop through like so, so it won't start unpicking itself as you're moving your work around. So we've got our stuffing here. Just add it straight in. push it as tight as you can. A little bit more. There we go. Let's get rid of that. So now we're going to go on to row 18 and 19 is 1 single crochet into each stitch. So we've got 2 rounds of single crochet. So I'm going to take that loop back out like so. And we're just going to do a single crochet all the way around. Now I tend to push my finger behind because you don't want to be bringing the stuffing up through, otherwise it's going to look a bit of a mess. So behind each stitch, just pop your finger so that no stuffing comes back through. So if you want to carry on with the next 2 rounds of 1 single crochet into every stitch, and then I'll come back and join you. Now on to row 20, we are doing 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. So here is our first single crochet, and then a decrease in the next one. So the front loops, pull it through and pull it through, followed by 1 single crochet and a decrease. So front loops, let's get the whole loop would help, and this one, pull it through. There we have it. So if you want to carry on, 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. I'll meet you at the beginning of the next one. So our last round is row 21, and we are going to be doing 6 decreases all the way around. So we need to pick up the front loops of our next 2 stitches, ease them in, pull the yarn through like so, and just keep working your way around. So you're going to have 6 in total. Second one, get that one out of the way. This is the third one. Make sure you've just got your front loops. And now the fourth one. I'm not happy with that one. I'll do that one again. That's better. And the fifth one gets tighter as you get nearer the end. So just persevere with it, but make sure you pick up the whole of the front loop. Come on, get in there. There we have it. Which just leaves us the last one, which is number 6. As you can see, we've got this one here. So I'm going to pick that one up before I take my stitch marker off, so I don't lose it. And then go back up into this last one here. And now what we need to do is we need to cut off quite a piece of yarn, because we're going to not only sew in the ends, but I want to make it more structured as an apple. Get rid of that bit. So at the moment it's kind of resembling a balloon. So I'm going to thread my needle. We're going to close the end up properly. So we look around at these ones. So this is our first one. We're going to pick up all 6 loops. So that's 1, just the front loops, 2, 3, where were we? We're on that one, so number 4, get in there, number 5, and this last one here is number 6. Now we've got all 6 caught on our yarn. We're going to squeeze it down gently. Again, try not to snap it, just ease it until you can feel it getting tighter. So we've closed the hole up, then I go back down through this one, and what I want to do is I want to make an apple shape. At the moment it's looking like a balloon or a pear, so I feed my needle all the way through to the bottom. Now, if you can't reach all the way through, we're going to do it in stages. So we come out of a piece of the side, but you want it through a stitch that's quite clear, so you can go straight back in that one, like that one. We've got so far, we're going to go straight back in that stitch, and I want it to come out in the centre here, just the other side of your magic circle. And try not to pull some stuffing through. Come on, get through. That's exactly what it wants to do. Here we go. So now we've got the yarn coming from bottom to top. I'm going to give it a bit of a pull, and at the same time I'm going to push it down just to hoax it in a little bit, like so. So that is going to be the base of our apple, so it can stand up nicely. But again, I want the top to go in slightly so that I can put the core on. So we're going to go back through the middle and again do the same thing. If you can't get your needle to go all the way, we're going to do it in stages. Come through. There we have it. Like so. Put it back through the same hole because you want to come through the bottom. Let's find a gap for it to come through. These stitches are quite tight. There we have it. So again, we're through from top to bottom, and we're going to pull the top, pull the top down like so. So that's looking more like an apple shape now. And then with this end, I'm just going to weave it in and out just to fasten it off. Doesn't matter where you come up, but again, try and avoid pulling any stuffing out with you. That should be enough, and I'm just going to cut the end off. So now we have a base for our apple to sit down, indent at the top where we can put our core and our leaf. Now we're going to be working on our leaf. We need to do a slip knot to begin with, like so. We're going to chain 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the next stage is to do 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So we've got 1 here, this is our second one. So we're going to be going through this one. That's our 1 single crochet. Then a half double crochet in the next one. So we yarn over, we go through the next one, pull up a loop, half double crochet, you go through all 3, just like that. I'm going to yarn over because we need to do a double crochet in the next one, which is here. So yarn over, pull up your loop. Now we're going to go through 2 of them, and then we're going to yarn over again and go through the last 2. That's your double crochet. Next one is another half double crochet into this one here. So we're going to put it through all 3, like so. Then we're going to do a chain of 1. I'm going to yarn over and we need to do a half double crochet as we come back down this other side. Now we've already used this bit here. We're going to go into this stitch. We're going to hide this yarn, the tail yarn, as you come back down. So you pull up your yarn, keep that one in. It's a half double this time, so we're going to put it through all 3 like that. Yarn over. The next one is a double crochet in this next stitch here. Pull up your yarn, 3 loops. So we're going to go through 2 of them, and then we're going to go through the last 2. And the next one is a half double crochet, because we're repeating what we did on the other side. So yarn over, we're going to go into this next stitch here, pull it up through all 3, which leaves us with a single crochet in this stitch here. Like so. And I'm going to finish with a slip stitch in this next one. Keep that tail end in. So you're going to pull the yarn through and straight through the other one, like so. Now we need a bit of length on it so that we can sew it to our apple. And then what I tend to do is just to tie these 2 together before we sew it on, like so. So there we have our 1 leaf ready for our apple. Now for the stem, we're going to do something similar. We're going to chain 7. So we start off with our slip knot in our brown, and we're going to chain 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to do a single crochet into the first 2 stitches. So we leave the first one by the hook, that one, so it's a second chain from the hook. Then we're going to do a single crochet in that one, and then in the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet in this one, and then in the remainder 4 we're going to do slip stitches. So you pull the yarn through and then you put it straight through the stitch on your hook. So that's 1. This next one here will be number 2, straight through the one on your hook. Next one's number 3. That's a slip stitch, and then the last one's number 4 in here. There we have it. And then we cut enough yarn so that we can sew it onto our apple. Like so, and I'm just going to tie these 2 ends together to keep them secure, like so. So there is our core for our apple. Now we just need to sew it all together. So I'm going to start with my core, and I'm going to thread my needle. I'll start with the longest one. And we're going to position it there. So I'm literally going to pick up a couple of these stitches to secure it to the top. I'm going to go back through the core. Pull it down into place. Like so. And then back through the base of the apple here. And then again back up through the core. Because if these are for little children to play with, we don't want it coming off and them swallowing them. And again back through the bottom of the apple. Now with this one, I'm just going to start hiding it through the apple for now, and then I'll come back to it once I've tied the other end in. If I can find somewhere to bring it out. Here we are. let's leave that one for a second. We'll go back to this other end. I'm going to do the same with that one. We're going to come down into the apple, bring it up somewhere so you can put it nice and tight. Go back through that one, and I'm going to bring it back up around the base of where our core is. Cut off my needle. There we have it. It's really tight. And again, I'm going to feed it back through the apple somewhere, like so. Push it back into shape. So I'm happy with my core as it is at the moment. I'm going to add on my leaf same way. And then when I'm happy that everything's on there really tight, I can snip my ends off. So our leaf, I'm going to add it here. So let's just pop the thread in here. Go back down the same hole because I don't want it showing through there. And I'm going to bring it up somewhere different so it keeps it secure. Let's get that one out of the way so we can see what we're doing. And it came up that one. You don't want to go down the same hole when you're securing it, because you'll be undoing the work that you've just done. Put it tight. I don't want it showing through here, so I'm going to go up the same one and try and get it nearer the leaf. That's better. Come through. There we have it. So I'm going to lose this one again like the others through the side for now, and then do the other end. Oh, come through. My hands don't want to work today. There we have it. Give them all a little tug. And snip off my ends. Push it all back into shape, and there we have our child's play apple. Didn't take that long to make. You can adapt it to make them bigger, so if you want to increase by 5 next time or by 6, just add another row on the middle band and it'll all be back in proportion. So I hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, and we'll work on another piece of fruit I think next time. Thank you.